Hello, everyone. In today's video, I want to give you one of the most valuable pieces of advice you may ever hear when it comes to retaining a lawyer if you have an inheritance matter, an immigration case, or a real estate or business related matter in Argentina. Why paying for a legal consultation is not an expense, it's legal insurance. It's a legal insurance policy against anything that could go wrong in Argentina. Let's start talking about a common mistake that most clients make. Too many people shop around for attorneys, asking dozens of questions without ever paying for proper legal advice. What happens? They walk away with half answers, opinions, or even incomplete information and no accountability whatsoever from any lawyer, which is expensive because if you make the mistakes in Argentina, the only one responsible for your mistakes is you and not all the attorneys you consulted for free. When those clients later get rejected at a consulate, denied boarding at an airport, or even detained at immigration in Argentina, no one is responsible but them, not the lawyers they spoke to. Because without a paid consultation, there's no professional duty and no liability that can be proven. Why a paid consultation matters so much. The moment you pay for a consultation, even a modest fee, you're not just picking a lawyer's brain, you're securing professional liability and accountability. That lawyer now has a duty to advise you correctly, and if something goes wrong, they can be held responsible. You're losing on legal insurance for any errors or omissions that the lawyer could be held liable for. In other words, a paid consultation is lawyer insurance. For just a few $100s, you protect yourself from mistakes that could cost you thousands or worse, jeopardize your family's future. Let me talk to you with real examples. I've seen this countless times. Clients reach out eager to relocate to Argentina. They invest in real estate or they start a business or they have an inheritance in Argentina and they ask question after question. But when I invite them to a formal consultation, they disappear. A few weeks later, many come back in panic, rejected at the consulate, denied boarding with their flight to Argentina, or even detained at the airport once they arrive to Argentina while immigration forces them to buy a ticket and go back to their country of origin or end up in a prison. By then, the problem is not only more expensive, it may even be astronomically expensive to repair. Think of a paid consultation as legal insurance. Let me put it clearly. A paid consultation is insurance when relocating to another country. It's insurance when starting a business. It's insurance when buying a real estate or investing in a farm. It's insurance if you've inherited property or assets in Argentina and you're an heir or a beneficiary. The lawyer becomes responsible for guiding you through the process and avoiding costly mistakes. It's as simple as that. Let me remind you the benefits of a paid consultation. And here are just a few of the advantage I can think about right now. Clarity, understand your true legal position. Risk versus cost, spend a few hundred now to avoid losing thousands later. Tailored advice specific to your situation, not generic Google searches or free AI apps with no liability at all. Spotting red flags. Lawyers see hidden traps before you fall into them. And peace of mind. Know where you stand and act with confidence. Relationship building. Test drive your lawyer before a bigger commitment. And of course, confidentiality protected by your attorney-client privilege. And future savings, the right structure today can save you money for years. This is why I tell all my clients that a consultation is not an unnecessary expense. It's the smartest investment you can make. I always, as an attorney, always, if I have something which is in another country, I always retain the services. The legal consultation fee for me is something basic and mandatory. So if you're planning to relocate to Argentina, start a business, have an inheritance in Argentina, or invest here in this country, don't risk your future by avoiding a small consultation fee. Think of it as legal insurance for yourself, your money, your future, and your family. Do yourself a favor, book a paid consultation and give your plans the protection they deserve.